Hello everyone, Pineaaronapple here with 3 new installments into the Doomsday story, hours 10 to 15. In doing so, we get to see 2 short cutscenes from a mobile game and a book that I've been looking forward to, crossing over the 9th and 2nd Doctors with Doom. Let's see if we get better than last time. Hour 10, also known as I Am the Doctor, is our first story from the game Lost in Time. And I did play this event, but god, this game is kinda junk. It really makes me miss Doctor Who Legacy, and I'm so sad that that got shut down. You can still play it by downloading an APK and doing some editing to get the no longer functioning DLC capabilities out, but that's probably illegal and not worth the effort. So to revise, instead of playing through the story, I'll just watch clips on YouTube, courtesy of Skybot Gaming, who I'll tag in the description. So there isn't a lot to talk about here. To me, this game isn't worth anything more than a distraction on the phone. Something to tap when bored, or to run in the background, and certainly not worth the time to unlock all those cutscenes. So I'll just sum up the story as it is. The writing and the story itself aren't good or bad, but K9 and Chameleon, who is disguised as 13, place an ad to help them fight against pirates, defending the space station Calculon.
Calculon, I wish you had never escaped from those brutal crab fishermen. I want you to know I didn't wait for you, not even for one day.
Then I suppose the honorable thing would be to kill myself.
Doom deals with the pirates by essentially bribing them with red material that they are partial to and leaves, dreading her death. While K9 and Chameleon defend the station once again, this time from incoming Mavellans. Also, Scylla's there.
That is enterprising.
So yeah, the story and writing is completely average, a real 4.5 out of 10, and certainly not worth the gameplay to get there. There is only one other chapter of the story in this game, thankfully. Now let's move on to Extraction Point. The next 4 hours are contained within 4 stories within the Extraction Point novel, written by M.G. Harris. While still split into parts, this story is far more cohesive, really helping add value to it as a novel, instead of it being purely an anthology series. The cover is still deceptive to those looking. Based on the cover, while Slitheen, Doom, and 9 and 2 meet, they don't ever all at the same time. But that doesn't mean that the story is without merit. Overall, I enjoyed the book, even if 1 or 2 of the twists were a smidge predictable, but I can certainly recommend it from its good writing and interesting story. I won't go super in-depth, but I recommend that if you want to go into this book mostly blind, maybe skip this portion of the video. The first portion of the story, Doom hunts a man named Stalgon at a skiing resort, before the planet she is on can collide with an asteroid. But in doing so, is intercepted with many androids, revealed to be unknown from the Kral, see the android invasion. And it turns out that the whole asteroid and resort situation are a simulation of sorts Stalgon was hired to gain the results and readings from. Doom succeeds in killing Stalgon, only for the 9th Doctor to appear, take the results, and send her on her way with cryptic warnings. It was at this point, hour 12, where something the book did started to annoy me. Instead of being titled hour 11, 12, 13, 14, these stories are actually labelled in the book as 14 hours, 13 hours, 12 hours, and 11 hours, in that order. So unlike a lot of the stories before this, and how they're listed, well, anywhere else, they're named as a countdown, not an ongoing timer. Such as the very first story being called Hour 1. It's not a big issue, but annoys me in weird parts of my brain all the same. Now the actual story of Hour 12, Doom lands on Satellite 5, years after the death of the Jagraf S, which gives us an interesting insight into what has become the Station Nerva of the 9th Doctor era, as that was to the 4th. Doom is contracted to kill a ghost. Not your particular ghost either, but a product of a company that actually forms simulacrums of dead people into holograms, becoming the equivalent of a ghost. Doom has to pick between the ghost being a flirty woman who is unseen by a little boy Doom talks to, or said small boy, who looks a lot like the son of someone on the planet Vasta, where the asteroid experiment was emulating. She figures the ghost to kill is the small boy, and is followed by a strange director named Kolekvo, who wishes to see her kill the ghost for his television show. They head to his studio on floor 500, and surprise, the weird guy tries to kill her via elevator. But once she escapes and kills the ghost, taking his last request of destroying the real asteroid to heart, setting it as her next job, she is tracked by police for the murder of Kolekvo, who was killed leaving only one organ behind, a detail to remember since later it's revealed the organ is skin. Little details like this that I picked up on, obviously, having religiously rewatched 9 series over and over again, are certainly a good part of this story, something that a lot of writers would put in. But all 4 of these stories are very well connected, and you gotta give props for that. Hour 13 takes place on the asteroid, where Doom seeks to destroy it, reuniting with 9 and a Vastan named Cat. Cat tries to argue against destroying the asteroid, and after assaulting the Doctor, follows Doom to stop her in her tracks. Doom reaches the center of the asteroid and discovers it's a ship, much like the one she saw when she was at the simulation, before leaving and is met with Cat. Cat gets some damage in, but after being revealed as a Slovene, is killed in the end, and Doom escapes with a 9. Going to have coffee at a Starbucks until her timer goes off. This portion feels smaller than the last, but sets up the Slovene reveal well, and marks the beginning of the end of the 9th Doctor's appearance here, now only appearing at the beginning of the next hour. Finally, we have hour 14, the final hour of the book, where the first chapter is contained wholly within the Starbucks. The 9th Doctor sends her on the path of the Slovene, an Earth company that has been paying her for the last jobs, to get rid of the one guy who knew about the simulation, and the ghost boy who had a connection to the asteroid ship's twin. Doom arrives undercover at the real resort on Vasta, to a conference between the 2 warring factions. One that wants the asteroid to crash in some cult thinking, and the other side that wants to blow it up.
We're gonna blow it up.
Her contracts for this job being the execution of each leader proposed by the other. The Slovene plan is revealed as Draža Felfoch Heppenbar Slovene tries to fearmonger everyone off-world as an advanced mining device starts to mine asbantium from the planet. The material that 12 had to deal with in Heaven Sent, that is supposedly 400 times harder than diamond. The planet being rich in the stuff is the reason the Slovene are making these complex plans to get to it. The Slovene have taken both leaders' bodies, Abba Chanut and Queen Ludmila. Both names that are mouthfuls I'm not sure I'm pronouncing correctly. Doom meets with the leader of the Slovene plot, who is disguised as Abo, which I'm just realising I shouldn't say like that, so maybe we'll call him Abu. His daughter Draža impersonating the Queen, and they are both making fear-mongering videos to the people to incite war, leaving the people distracted as they mine. Just in time as Doom discusses with Ektoska Felfoch Heppenbar Slovene, the 2nd Doctor working with the Celestial Intervention Agency, supposedly after the War Games in what I think is referred to as an area of time called Season 6B. And he arrives with the cyborg of Stalgan, commissioned by his family to kill Doom as revenge, but to also take out the Slovene who put him in the situation that got him killed. Doom, with the Doctor's help, stops Draža from sending her message and locks her up, exposing the truth to the people who threaten Ektoska with his daughter's life to shut down the mining equipment. The story ends with the end of the 2nd Doctor's very short appearance, and leaves Doom pretty much just as witless as before. So overall, this was a pretty good book, and I certainly recommend it. And if you can get your hands on the comics that come before, there isn't that much of a prerequisite, if you want to get the whole context. But I believe if you don't mind the cliffhanger of Doom's continuing looming death, then you can enjoy this story standalone, while interpreting all she says about her job and experiences. While not as explicit or helpful as actually reading those past stories, I feel do a sufficient job. Just not a great one. But then again, that's not the book's job, as it is in reality a sequel to the previous content. I'll recommend Doomsday, Extraction Point, by M.G. Harris, and rated a 6.5 out of 10. But in my heart, for how much I enjoyed the writing and the plot, is probably much higher. Next, and the last for this video, and the last of the Lost in Time Doomsday duology, and is somehow less interesting than the last one, is Wrong Place at the Right Time. Doom meets Martin, as he gets rescued from criminals by Doom, who takes him to a non-existent meeting. She then poisons him with an anesthetic, and lets him be killed as a martyr, leading to his planet having a revolution. I really don't care about this. Even with the interesting premise, the art form is not engaging, and quite frankly, every time I play Lost in Time, I get more sick of it. 3 out of 10. I hope that we get better next video. So that was hours 10 to 15. A slight bit better than A Doctor in the House, but those cutscenes from Lost in Time I did not enjoy. Sure, they were fine for what they were, but those 2 hours could have been much better, or been used much better. As I said, fine for what they are, but come on. Any other medium would have given more dynamic or just plain better content. But at least I really enjoyed Extraction Point, even if my biases set it up to be a little disappointing, expecting 9-2 and the Slovene to meet, all at once. Thank you everybody for watching the 3rd video in the Doomsday series. Please like the video if you liked it, comment down below if there's something you want me to check out, and consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do, ring that notification bell so you're told every single time that I make an upload. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next review. Bye!
Toast. A little piece of toast. Because there's so much to choose from. There's brown bread, white bread, all sorts of wholemeal bread. It comes in funny packages with writing on the side.